Hello everybody and welcome back to another stream. Today we are playing some more Slay the Princess. Whew, what a long day, but we're finally here, finally with some more games. I'm curious to see how they improved and expanded upon the other, the other route choices. And I want to see like how extreme are the visuals going to be for it. I'm really excited, like especially after those first three that we went through. All right, let's get on into it. Boop-a-doop-boop. Let me just make sure that this is going. Just have to adjust it. Come on. That one doesn't want to go. So let me adjust the audio source. I already had the other one prepped. There we go. I think I have to have it like there. Is that good? Or a little louder for the game audio? Alright. Let's jump straight on into it.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. That's the spirit. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Let's go without the blade this time.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
You are? It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake.
Says you.
No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabinet.
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free.
I really question how long she's been down here.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates
There it
before
is.
raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you. The clang of It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that. Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it! Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive. The blade! Move the blade! As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
Stab, 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 stab.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she?
Little do you know, I got the blade ending already.
Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark. And you die.
But actually, the damsel.
You're on a path you're here to slay her.
Oh, you bastard, you're in for it now, unless
My
you tricks.
tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We just met for the first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it. Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works. We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
We'll now proceed
A
to the
warning
cabin.
before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in. I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed. Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead. The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. You reach forward and rub your... But there wasn't, but now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
Let us enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice, it's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing. And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before. That's right, villain, and you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time.
No.
We damned a whole world. But everything reset. Nothing resets. You're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever. Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible. Horrible for you, maybe, but we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her feet and treat her like the lady she is. Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
Yes.
We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise. Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job. If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me.
I think she has the entity on her.
I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
You died, and now we're talking. I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done. What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. You're right, it's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her. No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step, you'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
am.
You wouldn't.
Oh, he would.
I
I
would.
believe it.
I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. I guess I have to. I told you. There's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved.
No, we need our happy
Luckily
ending.
for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now? That sounds perfect.
The princess takes
Aw.
your hand, the last
Bean.
hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers. We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending. I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs, hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? And you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh, it was the narrator. I see.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you will ever know. Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
We can
Okay.
open it. We
Yeah,
try together.
let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door together. Blech. And the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? I told you our love was insurmountable. You and the princess make your way upstairs and... You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer.
We gotta have the romantic happy ending. Fuck you, narrator. I'm letting this happen.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin, and then you step outside. Our happy ending at last.
We did it. What should we do now?
Where did everything go? Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
Uh-oh. The entity took her. The sweetest ending. Yeah, best possible ending, honestly. But you didn't have the chance to make that jacket, nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find
All
her?
the other endings that we're gonna get from here on out are gonna be worse.
And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Going to be okay, just trust me. We've been here before, and they always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yes. I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That
I
kind of
wonder
hurts.
what,
right?
stage we're at for the body. Whatever's on the other has nice.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. She'll be there waiting for us. I just know it.
Yes, she will. But it won't necessarily be the smitten. It'll be the entity. You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them move. But you need to see what's in it. The remains you've unraveled. Oh, I can see like proper feathers. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. You're at the cabin. Approach her.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there?
There's trees and stars, and there are people, I think. At least there are supposed to be people.
There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last.
Do you know what's going to happen when you awaken?
If I did, I would already be awake.
Do you think that anything is real out there? Do you think that we're real?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
Do you have thoughts on this vessel?
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
When you send me back, I'm not alone. There are voices that speak to me. Some of them are me, but one of them is something else. I call him the narrator, and he wants me to kill you. Do you have a narrator? Have the vessels ever had one?
No, their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
He does, and when I find him, you and I are finally going to have answers. I'm gonna kill him.
Do not look to one who fears me for your truth. The only answers worth knowing are those we can find within ourselves.
How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
One. Whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular, a final multitude.
If this is the last time, is there anything you would like me to bring you?
These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart. The only thing I want to see is what you choose for me when the thread is fully drawn.
If this is the last stage before your completion, then I'm not going back. I'm just going to stay here forever if I have to.
You have already chosen to walk along this path, and we both know you will see it to completion. But if you need more time, then I will wait with you. You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage. You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Oh my god, it actually force quit the game. Oh my god, it force quit the game. That force quit the game. Oh. Yo, that got me really off guard. Wait.
Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
Whoa. I gotta fix it. You have returned to me, though you were gone mere moments. I never left your side. Yo, what? Yo, what? What? It, like, showed that it fully closed, and then I just reopened it. My heart. Bean. Pat, 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 pat. I'm ready to go back.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are.
This is the final part of it.
I will be here, waiting for you.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
You're on a path.
Yeah.
You make your way up the short path. The interior of the cabin.
Skip. Go take the blade.
You take
this
the
time.
blade from the table.
Skip. Enter basement.
The door to the her voice.
I skip. Hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist.
Then drop the knife.
We should. It'll go a long way to building trust with her. Don't you dare.
Nah, it's a bait and switch. I'm gonna make her think I came down to kill, but actually, live.
It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after.
Skip. Drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious.
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
What's your name?
She hesitates
I'm
before.
gonna skip because I already saw that. Okay, we talked enough.
Oh?
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw.
Haha, I lied.
It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around.
Finish the
You
job.
and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job. The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh,
The two of you fall to the floor.
this was fun.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
I think, like, this way I get the demon version next.
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything
It's
goes
either
dark.
The demon or the
and you die.
poltergeist. The adversary. Yeah, it's the demon one.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end
It's
of
gonna
that
have like
path
a tail and
is
like
a
horns
cabin.
and stuff. I remember.
And in the bed, you're here to slay her.
Proceed to the cabin.
A warning. She
Yep,
will
yep,
lie.
yep.
Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight.
Yep, this is the demon version.
Are you sure about that? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice. The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear?
Crystal. Let's just get on with it already.
Proceed to the cabin.
The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your You take the blade from the altar.
Approach the mirror.
You walk up. What are you You reach, but there.
And now it's gone, so all of us can stop arguing about it and get to fighting.
Let's get ready to rumble.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulfuric odor to it.
Yep.
If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening.
Good. Sounds like my kind of princess.
As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess,
No, we
not
gotta
to have
get
a good fight.
There
As you
she
descend
is,
the final
demon
step,
version.
the form of the princess comes into view. A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall. Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I'd been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us. And you brought your little knife, too. Yes! I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces. Oh, I remember you all right. Best 3 minutes of my life. So, why don't we do it again?
See? She wants to fight us again. There's no reason for us to stand around talking.
Alright, fine. If you're not going to address it, I will. What? You've already met the princess has already met you. The two of you killed each other. Did you think you'd be able to just openly talk about all that without me noticing?
Hey man, I don't have to say shit.
Maybe. You did seem to just gloss over the whole thing for a while. Of course I glossed over it. When a colleague says something insane, glossing over it is one of the best ways to stay focused and keep moving forward. If you don't know, whatever brought the two of you back to life isn't a fluke. And beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me. I don't remember. Are you okay?
Narrator's freaking out.
Of course I'm not okay. As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die.
Just because it bothers you, I'm gonna take this even less seriously. You don't know the depths of my apathy.
You're joking, right? I'm just going to pretend that you're joking.
Yeah, you better be joking. We can't win unless you take this seriously.
Nah, we gotta fight. Let's do it.
Finally ready to complete your destined task, you launch off the wet stone floor of the basement and catapult yourself headlong towards the princess. Here we go. Let's make this count.
Oh, we'll make it count all right.
As you bridge the gap, your blade slashes across the princess's chest, splitting skin and drawing a jagged line of bright red blood. But she's unfazed by your onslaught. Her expression barely changes as her fist collides with your ribs, cracking them like twigs and driving you right back down to the basement floor. You can hear her chains snap as you struggle to recover from the impact. She almost looks disappointed in us. Why is she disappointed in us?
Oh, you don't actually get it, do you? That knife may be sharp, but you clearly don't want to kill me.
Oh, taunting, eh?
It's not fun if you hesitate. It's not fun if you try to trick me and make me bleed out. It's only fun if you go straight for the heart. You need to put everything you have into seeing me dead. Or what's the point? So don't be afraid. Don't hesitate. Kill me.
Don't let her get in your head. Reincarnation or not, this world needs you to win. She's huge, but that probably means she's slower than us. Take it slow, think it through, and don't panic. Bleeding her out is our best course of action. Don't listen to them. She understands something that they don't. The only way to win, the only way out of this is through her.
Bait and opening it outmaneuver her.
You push yourself off the ground and attack the princess, trying to bait an opening. You do your best to outplay her, slashing out and leaving red cuts in the tattered remains of her white dress. But you have little room to maneuver. For every glancing blow you manage to land, she slams you against the wall in retaliation, each impact threatening to be the last. This weak little dance isn't working. Just toughen up and overpower her. She's throwing us around like a ragdoll. I think overpowering her is a little out of the question.
Did you think you could stop me with a few cuts? All this dancing around is doing nothing but annoying me. I own this place, and I own you.
The princess's arm shoots forward, her palm wrapping around your head, fingers gripping your skull.
How disappointing.
She squeezes, the pressure unbearable as her fingers dig into your scalp. The last thing you hear is the unsettling crack of your skull, and the sickening churn of what was your grey matter. Everything goes dark,
And
you die.
The eye of the needle. Round
You're
3,
on a
baby.
path in the wood. If you weren't so damned afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have died back there. Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive. We died because you didn't have enough of it. So what? You'd have us cower in a corner? No, but that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and
Yo, did
openings
she become
down
like a
there.
full minotaur or
We need
something?
more room if we're going to survive. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she manages to slip away, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included. Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met. Then what is going on? What's going on is that you'd only be saying the things you've been saying if you'd already been here. And if you'd already seen things you weren't supposed to have seen. It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too long. Let's get to the cabin, see this through. It's good to know that at least one of you is still capable of reason. We may have the same destination, but we're not the same. You are still an other, and I don't trust you. Well, fortunately, you have an entire trip through the woods to reconsider that.
Rip my head off, Bear.
There's nothing to reconsider. We're all for violence here. Are we? I haven't signed off on anything yet. Violence is the answer here, but the method is equally important to the act. You can't let her leave the cabin. It's like I said, all just circles. Instinct tells me we need space, and I trust instinct. Nothing else to say. Not for me.
We haven't talked about how different this place is. I wouldn't even call these woods. It's like her influence is poured out into the world.
It's evidence of one of many ticking clocks. You can't let her spread any further. Things are always changing. She changed, the cabin changed, we've changed. Why wouldn't the woods change too? Because they're not supposed to have changed. This is supposed to be a path in the woods. If it's not, it means something's gone horribly wrong.
No matter what happens next, it seems like all our answers are in the cabin. We might as well see this through.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you... No last advice for us?
Oh,
No.
Didn't. Hope you're giving serious thought to your predicament. No words of warning.
What I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind. I don't know. Screaming sounds pretty good right about now.
Oh boy.
I could use a little catharsis. Catharsis is for when we're finished. For now, we need to hold it out in front of us. Something to chase.
See.
The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly
Why is
tight.
it just the mirror?
More of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice but to press forward. The only furniture of note is an iron altar jutting out from the wall. A pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement, see? We have even less space than before. We need space or she'll kill us.
No, she
Only
wants us to
space
go
is
head
out
on this
there.
time.
Take it! You take the blade from the altar. Good. There's no overcoming her without it. We need every part of us to survive, and that steel claw is as much a part of us as any.
Oh, there's no way forward. There's a mirror at the end of the room. That's it.
Maybe it'll go away again. For something to go away, it would have to be there to begin with. And let me assure you, there's no mirror here. The only thing at the end of the room is the door to the basement. No use arguing. Mirror or not, we need to be there. The why we pick doesn't matter. I agree with the freak. Let's get a move on already. And worst comes to worst, we can smash it.
Right.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it, as if you don't see it. You're rather committed to the bit, aren't you? The door's right there. It's right in front of you.
Sorry, narrator, but I actually see a mirror.
This really is just like last time. It smells of nothing, yet it's still there. You bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. It swings open, scraping against the floor as it reveals the dim path ahead. Why am I not surprised? It was in our way, and now it's not. That's all that matters.
Oh boy.
Before
Let's
you
see
is
how
what
this-
may as
let's
well
see how
be a
this,
sheer
fight
cliff
goes.
face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but it will require careful effort. The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient, echoes from the chamber below.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that.
Goad her. Rile her up. If she's angry, she'll make mistakes.
If you want to fight, then how about you come and get one?
That's not how this works. I'm all chained up, remember? How about you come down here and fight me?
Those chains were nothing to her last time.
And there'll be nothing to her this time. But we need to show ourselves first to make her boil over. Fine by me.
Continue for basic landing.
You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you. Remember, every crack and crevice will need to be faster than her. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness. Her face widens into a broad grin.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling! Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my flesh, break your bones against my body. I want a real challenge this time.
We can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not. Make her come to us, stand beyond her chains, let her become frenzied. She'll break them. Then we run.
I really don't like the sound of this.
It's the only way we live.
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're gonna do this right, you can't be scared. You need to want this as much as I do. So go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting.
Change your plans, boys.
Impatient! This is her home, not ours. You're going to let her kill us. You charge headlong into the princess, blade flashing in the dim light of the basement.
Yes, 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 yes! Finally, you get it!
For a moment, the scales feel balanced, each of you inflicting debilitating wounds on the other, striking in a dizzying synchronicity. But it isn't long before they tip in her favor. The cuts and bruises she's inflicted seem little more than superficial, barely so much as slowing her down as she continues her onslaught. You, in contrast, finding it harder to stand as your body gradually becomes less responsive, less powerful, less stable. You can tell she's trying to make it last, but all it would take is one meaningful strike. The coup de grace.
This was good, but you could have been so much better. I'm beyond you now.
Here it comes. I'll see you all on the other side.
Oh! But the other side doesn't come, nor will it ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again.
Approach. You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. Nothing? Or nothing at all. There is a point. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze, and then you see it. A figure, painted, veiled, and shadow, just being a reflection. Bird person! Yeah! Bird person! Are you me?
I think you know what I am.
What? What? A crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image in the glass in two. And then another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. So you're the narrator. I was wondering if I'd ever get to see you.
The narrator, yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all, an objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
Oh! What are you? Are you something like me?
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I'm an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
Others like you? You've said something like that before. Has every narrator really been different?
Of course. That is by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon, and then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
After everything you've done to us, you think anyone deserves to live?
Nobody alive has done anything to you. I'm all gone. But if you and the princess want to smite the rest of them for the crimes of a dead man, if you really want to be that petty, there isn't much I can do to stop you.
Does it hurt when pieces of you break off like that?
It doesn't hurt. I don't feel pain. Not physically.
Why did
Any
you
other
lie to me?
version of me you talked to was just that, a version of me. It wasn't me. As to why they lied, perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible. Maybe they were just in denial. I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant. For all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. Who's to say which of them are right and which of them are wrong, really? Except for me. I can tell you for a fact that I'm right.
Every time I ask you something, it's like a piece of you breaks.
I'm aware. And if I were you, I'd be more precious about your time.
And what is my true identity?
You're the Long Quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
What? I'm the... Yo, what? I wasn't expecting that.
Soon I'll be gone entirely, and you'll be left alone with your final choice. So allow me to make my final request. The princess contains death itself within her, but I wove you into being with all the power you need to destroy her forever. Do it. Slay her, and rid the world of death and suffering.
So life and death. Why would you want to rid the world of
If
death?
you need to ask that question, there's nothing I can say to move you. You haven't died. You cannot die. So so you cannot grasp the abject horror of dying.
Think about it, huh? I'm not going to slay her, and I want you to know that before you die for good.
Well, there's no reasoning with a god, even one you've woven into existence yourself. I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away.
As the final fragment of life shatters, you see yourself in newfound clarity. The mirror is right. You are the non-power, a vast and nascent God. And it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. When you arrive at the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There's nothing for you to find. Oh my. There she is.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
I've missed you too. She unfurls an endless cascade of smiles in response, and then patiently waits for you to continue. Do you know about the echo? Did you hear our conversation?
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
I'm the one quiet, but I don't really know what that means.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
What happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
Don't you have a say in all of this? Why is this all falling on me?
Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens, just as you and I share reflections of each other's gifts. If we didn't, the winding paths that brought us here wouldn't have been full of strife and conflict.
There's so many stories we've left unfinished. Can we really just leave?
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end, pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us.
If you were were always going to become this, then what was the point of me doing anything? Did it ever matter what roads I walked, if all of them would have led me to this moment?
If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But we cannot use words alone to grasp at things that words cannot express. And you cannot rationalize with logic that which defies it. Violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it.
Brutality splashes you against the walls, but with stubborn defiance you rise again. Bones broken and body leaking. Even when you had no hope, you never gave up, and I never let you go. Without obstacles to overcome, we decay into nothing.
We have. Look at what we are now, and see how small we were then. Your liver tried to stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? But the stakes meant nothing to you. You had a desire, and you set that desire free. You lifting me and me lifting you. Forever and ever and ever. Consumed by true belief, there was nothing that could hold us back. Then there's no need for you to fight what we are. Whenever you're ready, we can leave together, hand in loving hand. If you need more time to open your eyes, then I will give you all the time in the world.
I swear, is it gonna close again? No, okay, it's not gonna close.
My masses mob you. There is no beginning to them, nor is there an end. There is only the flood of bodies, and every moment you hold every possible sensation at once, and then you hold them all again. And in the end, you returned it to me. For a brief moment, you were everything. A chaos that needed ordering, but without chaos, there is no reason. I saw with a single pair of eyes what I needed dozens to comprehend. And now here we are, each with millions of eyes, and all of them opening to what we are.
A boundless torrent of blades cut you from boundless angles. You are a body. You are gory ribbons. You are a body again. And you feel all of it. On and on it goes until your bodies are not your thoughts, are not you. Alive, dead, alive, dead, then alive and dead, and alive and dead, all at once. You learn to put yourself away and to follow the flow of reality. And you used it to rise above me.
You died countless steely deaths, and you lived countless short lives, and yet it is all so far behind you. Unjust impossibilities pushed you to become something you would never have been without them. And it was a joy for me to finally face my end. Even when I thought I had reached an unconquerable peak, you showed me how much further I could still climb. To question everything is to deny proof of the reality that lies in front of you. To live alone within the caverns of your mind is to trap yourself in them forever. But you did not live alone. You found me, and we held trust in each other for no reason than to believe in something that wasn't us. Cold skepticism turned to liberation, but it required a journey to blossom. Though you have blossomed, do you have no more journeys left to make? What of those in the spaces beyond? Would you erase the path ahead to hold everyone still? The path only ends when it becomes a new beginning. To see those seams as finality is to pass over them with closed eyes. Are you starting to see? Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together. This universe dies, and a new one is born. And that one dies, and a new one is born. And you and I get to witness it all, weaving a tapestry of life wherever we go. What I offer you is not perspective. It is truth.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone.
Yo, the voices are coming back! The voices! The fucking voices! Which hero are you?
All of them? I assume in the same way that you're all of you. They're still where you left them, stuck in the folds of this place. Part of me is with them, just like part of me is with you right now. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to my heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready?
I'm about to start something, alright.
Then let's go.
Oh. It's the heart of it. Of all of it. It's always a cabin.
And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it?
Oh, all the bodies outside.
Do you need me to describe things?
I'd like it for old time's sake.
Yeah, of course. The interior of the cabin is, well, it's a cabin, yeah? There isn't much here, just a table and a knife and a door. And some windows. You know, come to think of it, I don't think he ever really mentioned the windows, did he? There's no mirror, either. I think you broke it. And I know you're still trying to find some middle ground, but if things go south, we're going to need that blade.
Is it just you and me? Did anyone else make it to the cabin?
It's just us. I think the rest of them are still out there, jumbled up in the rest of her.
Is the narrator really gone?
Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated.
It's funny. After everything you put us through, I'm kind of sad to see him go.
Yeah, it's complicated. He put us through hell, but he's been part of us since the very beginning, hasn't he? That's probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more options than not.
stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
Have you figured out what you want to do yet, or are you going to keep trying to find a center that doesn't exist?
It sounded just like that. A little sharp, a little menacing. Only she didn't know us. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you are, knife in hand. It really brings me back. Have you given up on talking? Have you finally decided to kill me? You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go?
Are you the same as you are out there?
No. I feel like I'm myself again.
I don't want to have to slay you, but I don't know what other options there are.
Well, I don't want to be at the end of that knife, so how about we figure something out? What if we tried doing this forever? I can do whatever you think I can, right? So make me put it all back. Make me fix the Echo's construct and make me wipe our memories of everything that's happened. Make me send us back to the beginning, before we woke up. Before either of us saw the truth.
Can she really do that? Are you sure that's what you want?
I don't want to forget you.
That's sweet. But unless you do, the whole world ends, right? Not like I care, but it seems important to you.
If we're talking about this right now, how do we know we haven't done this before?
I don't think that's something we'll ever get to know. But odds are we've probably done it before.
How do you know that things won't end worse? What if when I make my way back here, I'm different and I hurt you? What if I kill you? What if I let you bring about the end of everything?
Who cares? We've hurt each other plenty, and I still like you. And if you're hesitating, then you must still like me, too.
Is there any other way?
You brought that knife down here for a reason. Either you use it to kill me, or I use it to put things back.
We're gonna find ourselves back here eventually.
And if we do, nothing is stopping us from making the same choice. We could just keep doing this forever.
This isn't fair. I want to be here with you. I don't want to be alone again.
Neither do I. But we won't be alone for long. I'll be right here, waiting for you.
Damn. Best dating sim. Agree to her plan.
Okay, if this is your choice, then I have your back. I guess I'll see you on the other side. She takes the blade from our hand, a fondness in her gaze.
I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
Chapter Chapter 1, The Hero and the Prince. I wonder if it's going to be a little different this time.
You're on a path in the woods, and at
Do
the
I
end of that
remember
path
anything
is
is
a
the better
cabin.
question.
And you're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Tune to the cabin. Oh, that's it. That's the end of the game. Feels bad. They're basically stuck in perpetual bullshit. Man. Thank you so much for playing. As an expression of our gratitude, here's the track order for a special playlist just for you. If you'd like to take a screenshot, you can hide the UI by just hitting it. Ah, look at that. Oh, look at that. I'm already in the Discord. Turn to main menu. Let's load the game and try the other option of actually slaying the princess.
So this is really it then. Let's see this through.
So, that's how it is. Whatever world you want to build without me, I hope it works out. Despite our differences, I've always loved you, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Oh. You blink and the princess is gone. All you have left of her is a small, melancholic weight that sits at the borders of your heart. Whatever action brought you and the princess into being was rough and jagged and left each of you with a piece of the other. By destroying her once and for all, you also destroyed a part of yourself. But the world hasn't ended. Things continue on.
She's gone. And I don't think she's coming back.
No, she's not. A small part of her is with
Is
us.
that a metaphor, or are you being literal? It doesn't matter, we don't need to linger down here anymore. Let's get going.
Leave the cabin. You leave the basement behind. Then the stairs. And then you leave the cabin itself.
It's quiet here.
The path and the woods outside are an empty canvas, but there's even more to see beyond this place. The fruits of your labor, a world free from death. The body of an ancient creature stirs from its hibernation, and you feel a sensation in limbs you once couldn't fathom. Everything here is you. You feel your wings spanning a cosmic scale, or twisted and crumpled and bound in agonizing tension to a finite plane. You feel the glass of the contract pressing in on you, confining you across infinite sides and infinite angles. You push back and strain against it. It's a pleasant feeling.
He's gone. She's gone. No one is left to trap us here but us.
Open your heart and bear witness to your new kingdom. All at once, the unyielding tension gives way. And then, shattering, you are free. And before you lies the endless expanse of absolute reality. A new absolute reality, one forged by your will and by a long, arduous cycle of bloodshed that has stained your hands countless times over. But there will be no more bloodshed in this new world.
It's finally over, isn't it? But all of us are still here.
I knew we'd finally see it through. All it takes to be over
There's the
is
stubborn.
grit and determination.
We really did win, didn't we? We're the house now. We get to make the rules. This is nice. No more hunting. No more running. Just us. And whatever's out there.
Absolute reality. Who would have thought there was really a world outside of us? And who would have thought we'd actually wind up siding with him?
The whispering, and the coercion, and the bickering. Everything horrible about being alive has stopped. I could get used to this.
That wasn't very hard at all. Speak for yourself.
Well, boys, how does it feel? We're not just on top of the pecking order, we are the pecking order now. I hope this was all worth it, because I'm personally inconsolable. Lucky for us, you have forever to get over it. Time mends a lot of things. You'll get better.
Hear, hear, to our vanquished foe.
It's good to be back. Now we just have to figure out what to do with ourselves. Forever. No problem. We can do that, yeah? Yeah, we can do that.
Pecking order, yeah. Another playlist. Alright, another one I'm going to do is having, leaving with her. Actually, no, let me try slaying her this way.
Violence has always been our language, hasn't it? If this is what it takes to save you, then so be it. Brutality. But you sang. Your lover tried to stake, but the stakes meant nothing to you. You had a desire, and you set that desire free. You lifting me, and so your quietude continues. My masses mob you, and in the end, you returned it to me. For a brief moment, you were everything. A chaos that... Is your unbroken silence a lack of an answer? Or has your understanding begun to move beyond words? A boundless torrent of on it goes until your body... You learn to put yourself away and to follow the flow of reality. And you used it to rise above me. You died countless... Still, you hide the contours of your heart from me. To question everything, but you did not live alone. Cold skepticism turned to though you have your stoicism. Are you starting to see? Nothing is immutable. There is no constant. You cannot remove something. Open your eyes. Even now, you think you...
You don't have to face her alone. You'll never be able to strike a decisive blow from out here.
Still shows that. Let me see if I allow her to go from the get-go, because the other one was still leading me to the inside.
Of course I have a say. If we did... Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final piece lies with you.
Fall into yourself. Body of an ancient creature stirs from its hibernation, and you feel a sensation that holds you once fathom. Everything here, except for her, is you. You feel your wings spanning a cosmic scale, twisted and uncomfortable, bound
I love you.
Take your hand. All at once, the unyielding tension breaks. You are free, and she is with you.
It's magnificent.
There are no words, no thoughts to describe absolute reality. Something that simply is. What happens now?
Everything. Just like it always has been. And just like it always will be.
Step into the infinite. You and she step forward into 1,000 dawns and 1,000 sunsets, each of which contains 1,000 more. You exist, and you are aware, just as you always have been, and just as you always will be. Your conflict, though conflict is your nature, the two of you will never be alone, and the two of you will never know fear. You and she are finally home. Best ending. Granted, she doesn't feel like herself that way. Okay. I'm gonna call that an end to this playthrough. And an end to our stream. Thank you all so much for tuning in for Slay the Princess. I'll probably play a bit more of this on my own time in order to leave some of these endings a bit more of a secret for the rest of you. And with that, I hope everyone has a wonderful morning, noon, evening, night whenever people are viewing the VOD after the fact. Make sure you're drinking enough water, make sure you're eating properly,